Hey everyone, what's up? We're on the moon today with beta 1 of my Arduino speed measurement system. So, let's see it. Okay, what we have here today is my very basic Arduino-based speed measurement system. It works on a very simple principle of infrared beams. Here we have an infrared transmitter in the form of an LED and a receiver. So there's a constant infrared beam going between the transmitter and receiver. And the basis that this works on is that when the beam is interrupted, the receiver will send a signal to the Arduino, which will then record the time and the unique identifier of the receiver and send those through to the computer. The box you see here is just the data that's being sent through by the Arduino. So whenever something happens or I interrupt the beam, it'll give me a value up here. So let's see how it works. Basically, when the interruption starts, it gives me one value, and when it ends, it gives me another. These values correspond to the time at which the beam started being interrupted or stopped being interrupted, and as well as the identifier, which is the very last digit. So if you ignore the 2's on the end, which is simply telling me that it's receiver 2, which is receiving the information, if you ignore the 2's on the end and just concentrate on 101.363 and 104.326, these are the number of milliseconds since the Arduino started that have passed before the beam was interrupted or stopped being interrupted. So by taking the difference between these two, I can find out how long my object was in the beam, and then by measuring the diameter of the object, I can figure out the average speed that the object traveled across the beam. So let's do it a bit faster, just to give you another example. Passes through, it gives me two values in milliseconds, which then I can use to determine the average speed across the beam. However, this isn't the only thing which it's useful for. By hooking up several of these, you can also measure the speed of the object between two or more. However, and this is the system which I plan to be using for my collision course. However, there is still a minor issue which I need to fix. The current distance here is about 1.5 centimeters, and I can't increase it above 2 without creating major inconsistencies in the data. So I'm thinking of trying a Darlington pair transistor amplifier to eliminate these random values in this problem, which will then hopefully allow me to expand the beam anywhere up to 10 centimeters or more. So that's where I'm going to go next with this. The actual collision course hasn't been built yet. However, it's looking like just a piece of plastic conjugate, which I will roll a few marbles down. That's basically it. So that's basically it for the moment. I should be back with more news soon. Thanks for watching.